book of Psalms 34 verse 19 says, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him from them all." And as grateful children that we are, we can't take any of this for granted. And that is why we come on this program to appreciate God, one, and then to encourage someone out there that true deliverance only comes from God. Welcome to Touched by Faith. I am Olufunke. Right now, the word of the Lord will be coming to us through our Father in the Lord, Pastor Enoch Adejare Adeboye, after which we will bring to you the wonderful testimony of today.
1952. Then in 1977, I got a letter from him. At that time, I was a lecturer at the University of Lagos. He wrote to me and he said, "I heard that you, one of my former students, you are now a lecturer at the University of Lagos. Could you help me to gain admission to the University of Lagos to do associate diploma in education? Not a degree, a diploma." The world left him behind because things were good enough in 1952. By 1977, certificated teacher does not mean much anymore. Don't let good enough rob you of greatness. The greatest enemy of all is for you to think you are already great and you don't need anything more. Great is the greatest enemy of complete. You can be great but incomplete. For example, in 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 8 to 17, 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 8 to 17, the Bible talks about a great woman of Shunem. She was great. The Bible says she was great. But when the man of God asked her, "What can we do for you?" she said, "I don't need anything more. I'm already great." And yet, she was barren. Great, but incomplete. I pray for all of you who already feel you are great, that during this period, everything else you need to be complete, the Almighty God will reveal to you. Amen. And give you the grace to reach out for it. Amen. Now, from lockdown to leaping up, your journey upward begins when, number one, you sense that what you are calling normal is not good enough. I'll give you an example. Luke chapter 11, verse 1. Luke chapter 11, verse 1. The disciples of Jesus Christ were having a nice time, a great time. The Lord was there praying for them. But these disciples came to him and said, "Sir, teach us to pray. We too want to know how to pray." The moment you begin to feel normal, could be better. The moment you become, number two, aware that things can be much better, your journey upward begins. For example, you begin to feel that things can be much better because maybe you have known better days. In Mark chapter 8, from verse 22 to 24, Mark 8, 22 to 24, the Bible tells us about a man who was blind, and they brought him to Jesus. And when Jesus spit on his eyes and touched him, he asked him, "What do you see?" He said, "Oh, I see men like trees." That means before he became blind, he had seen trees before. Otherwise, how will he be comparing men to trees?
You think you have challenges in life? Then you should actually listen to what some people had been through. You know, there's an adage in Yoruba that says, if you have not been to another person's father's farm, you will say your father's farm is the biggest. And when you listen to these people, you will surely know that if God did not come through for them, no one else can. Let's listen to this man and then all that he went through, and you will know that God is still the one controlling the affairs of people.
I, Pastor Aki Council Raphael Oluwalambe, native of Ondo State. I was born on June 12, 1963, to the family of Aki Council. I thank God for the grace of God since I was born and the power of sustaining me up to date to the time of my salvation. And God is so faithful that right from secondary school, I gave my life to Jesus Christ. I have an encounter with the Redeemed Christian Church of God around 1918. The Redeemed Christian Church of God went to St. Monica for a congress. It was the last day I got there. I was able to lay hands on their Bible study outline. That gave me an encounter with the Redeemed. From there, I attended the church in December. And my father was not interested of going there, but I used wisdom in attending the church by keeping my Bible in the church because I'm the one to prepare food for everybody in the house. So very early in the morning, I have to prepare, do everything. As I told my father, I'm going to my friend's house to study. So after study, I will go back to my church, which is Anglican church. Then, that was 1981. So along the line, one day, I didn't wake up on time. It's Sunday before the time. My father told me and said, "You are a liar. You are just coming from their church where they are crying. And you told me you are going to your friend's house. And a child of God must not tell lie." I said, "I'm not telling lie. Jesus is my friend. He said, if you do those things which I commanded you, you are my friend indeed. And I told you that I'm going there to study, to learn more about my friend. So, and going there, I can acquire knowledge to pass my exam. So that is why I am going there." But the following Sunday, without knowing that it was a day of deliverance, I didn't wake up on time. So I was disappointed to rush to the kitchen to set firewood. And my father just rushed straight to the kitchen and said, get out. Your members are already late. They are rushing to their church." That was the day of my deliverance, that my father stopped me from cooking on Sunday morning because it's a polygamous family. My mother is not there. I'm the one to cook for everybody before I can go to anywhere. But from that day, I got favor and freedom from my father. I'm no more serving God in secret. It became open. And because my father said, since you have been going to this church, I've observed you. There is a transformation in your life. You don't argue with me again. And also, you love me. And you love people around you, you will maintain peace. So the seed is in you. So, and I discovered this church that changed you. So you are free to go. So I bless God for that experience that my father and the testimony he shared with me. And after the salvation of my soul, the Almighty God helping me, continuing in faith. Every time they say, workers, wait, I want to join the worker. But the privilege was not given to me. They will walk me out, get out of this place. You are not born again. Go and see for the salvation of your soul. For one calendar year, I was they always drive me out of the church. Get out. Anytime they say, workers, wait, there's a meeting. Even I bought redemption hymn because I want to join the choir. But the opportunity was not given to me. Until one calendar year, I was invited to come and join the worker. I said, I'm sorry, because next week I'm changing location from that state to another state. And unfortunately, when I got to Lagos, I landed in CSC Church. And I was living in their mission house. But Monday and Thursday, which is Digimbi and Faith Clinic, I don't miss it in Ibutemeta. So after 1 year, the Lord was able to assist me. I was able to rent my own house. And I told the leader of the church, because within that 1 year, they are recognizing me, as small as I was then, they are recognizing me as one of the elder of the church. They said, this one is an elder. Because I see opportunity to serve God, I discover nobody to take care of their children. So I was operating like Redeemed Christian Church of God in their midst, doing workers' meeting on my own, and follow up the children. Within a short time, the children's department has grew up above the church. So the elder told them one day and said, if there's anybody who meets God in this church, it will be this small boy, because he will never miss the church. And from that day, the elder make it as a point of decision. He will never allow me to start my workers' meeting before him. He will have been in the church and join the workers. So finally, after 1 year, I told them I've rented my house. I'm going back to my church because your doctrine is different from what I believe. So they now told me where they are saying, Brother Sita, is that where you want to go and join? You, that God has been using here, you are now an elder. I said, I'm a small boy, though. I'm not an elder. So don't kill me before my time. So that is how I left their midst anyway. And I went back to Ibutemeta. On getting to Ibutemeta, Baba DG saw me and said, why are you coming here? There is a church we have just planted in Morocco there. You can join them in one veranda there, and Jesus is moving in their midst. He described the place to me at Jidu by then. So I went there, and nobody knew me. I searched the place on Saturday. So on Sunday, I went secretly and I sat down. As the pastor was ministering, just said, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Wait a minute. That brother at the back there, God is saying that's not where your seat is supposed to be. Your seat is supposed to be at the altar, that he will be teaching you what you need to know. Open 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1 to the end. And that is how the whole church gathered to pray for me. As well, that day, I became a worker. Automatic. That was 1982 at Morocco. And Pastor Adeoti, now secretary, was there. I was more or less the assistant by that time. Retired Elder Inyang is also the assistant parish pastor by that time. And the pastor in charge, he left the church, he is now late. The one coordinating the first security of Redeemed Christian Church of God, those days, Pastor Paul, whenever we have convention, will be the one to lead the general overseer to march him to the altar. Everybody knew him. Very powerful man of God those days. But unfortunately for me, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, we used to have prayer meeting by that time, every Friday, in all Redeemed Christian Church of God parishes. Yeah, and it was that same week, the general overseer scattered all the ministers in the Ibutemeta, and Pastor Lawa, Badebo Lawa, fortunately be the one they sent to Agege Parish. And it was the first meeting, all of us is meeting one another, we don't know one another. So when he reported, he saw the person that we hand over to him. After the prayer meeting, he said, who is this man? He said, this boy. He said, I don't know him. He's just coming for the first time. He said, bro, don't come late to workers' meeting. I said, I'm a visitor here, sir. I'm not a member here. I'm not. He didn't even want to know whether you are born again, whether you are not born. He said, sir, did I ask you whether you are born again or not? God told me you must not miss workers' meeting on Sunday. And this is the time we used to start our workers' meeting. God, which type of thing is this? This is not my decision. And to the glory of God, I attended. The following week, he was ministering too and said, bro, come, kneel down. God said we should pray for you. You are the evangelical leader of this parish. And they appointed some group of people to join me. So that's how I became evangelical leader. I become a tug of war for me to all my decision that I want to be a Finlandia member turned upside down. I was working in a optical section by that time before I was sacked because the man refused to pay me my salary. He had been telling me for the past 6 months and said, "Sir, I've been cheating you for a long time. It is enough for me. I will not be paying your salary again. You must go to missionary school. I will pay you, sponsor you." He's an unbeliever. I said, "Who told you that I'm called by God? Leave me alone." First month, like a joking matter. The first month, the second month, the third month, 6 months. He didn't pay. He said, "I told you I'm not going to pay you any kobo again. You are a minister of God." As a result, I was working on my own. Somebody gave me a plot of land, and I divided the plot of land to 2. I planted cassava, I planted vegetable. Within 3 months, I became on my level in Lagos at Okiodo there. Along the line, God ministered to our pastor. He wanted to establish a farm. I became the farm manager. I attended many courses here and there, down to IT in Ibadan. So I was coordinating the farm. But before, the call was so strong in me that along the line there was a time I dreamed and some group of people were just drowning. And I was at the other side telling somebody, why you allow these people to enter like this? What's wrong with you? It's not the best. Be merciful unto them now. You're supposed to stop them. And I heard the voice, what prevents you to go over? Still, I still resist the call for almost 8 good years. When I became a farm manager, and now I became terribly sick, I was admitted in Ondo General Hospital. From there, by that time, white people still coordinate the hospital by that time. And as a result, one day I was repenting and said, "God, please just have mercy on me. This time around, I will obey you. Just give me 1 year to register with my boss so that I can look for a competent person to take over the farm from me." And one of the nurses just came early in the morning and was shouting on me, "Why are you troubling us? Which church are you going? Go and register with your God. It's time for you to obey God. Why are you disturbing us here? You are not sick." Because they have tried everything possible concerning me. They dream a lot of drugs. None of it is working. So it was the following day. After I repented, it was the following day I was discharged from that hospital. I went straight to my boss. I said, "Daddy, I have the call of God. I think it is time for me to hack in." And that was January by that time. That was 1988. So I gave him that year outro. So that 1989, I will be going to Bible college. Let us plan for proper handing over. Look at it like maybe it's a joking matter. Until I collected the form, I gave him the form to be my surety, to sign, so that you know that it's a serious matter. So he's the one that signed it. Even despite that he's still signing, he's yet to believe whether it is true until I was posted to the north. First year, second year. Say, "So it is true, you are becoming a full-timer." I said, "It is what God spoke to me." And I was posted to Rigasa with Pastor Rigasa Park in Kaduna. So opposite one cathedral church, Catholic church, there was no light. They just hire a shop and put 4 benches there, or 6. Then with Pastor Toluwalope Stephen. So if I preach today, it will be the usher. And we were giving remittance sheet, immediate effect, that church had been inaugurated. So, and we must start remittance. So it's from our pocket. We have to put money into the remittance sheet, offering. It's from our pocket. We must look for money to put in the column of the tithe. It's from our pocket. We must put money to the CRM, every contribution. But to the glory of God, here am I today.
My name is Assistant Pastor Mrs. Akinkaunsi Deborah. Oluwafemi. I got married to Pastor Raphael Akikansi in the year 2000, December 31st. After I lost my husband 5 years previously. So 2031st December, we remarried. And since then, the Lord has helped us. It has not been easy. You know, I've lived my life as a widow, all alone by myself, and I feel I'm comfortable, I'm okay, I can carry myself, though there were battles, but the Lord was helping me. And then I also became very sick. I was having issue with my eyes. I was like, God, what is this? So I also needed a company. Somebody was with Baba Oke when I came, and the man said, Baba, why is this lady not married? I came in and I saw the man. Actually, didn't know the man. I said, who is preventing this woman from remarrying? I said, nobody. So it was like a confirmation of why I came back to Baba. The Lord gave me Haggai 2:8. It said that the glory of the latter house will be greater, and that it will give me peace there. So I now told Baba, see, this is what the Lord said to me. I said, well, that's a confirmation that the Lord is leading you to that place. And when we came to see Mama was like, are you convinced? Are you sure? Even the day we married, Mama didn't remember. It was a crossover night. So after the marriage, we went to the altar. So during the crossover night, it was then Mama now saw that we have married. I said, I didn't even remember, that kind of thing. And the Lord has helped us. Really, the Lord has helped us. And from what I saw with Pastor, my husband, he is a passionate man. I followed him to some of the places where he served. We've been to Benue. I've seen the first church. Everybody knew him there. We went to Badagry. It was a homecoming. Everywhere he went, people just loved him. He served, and even up to today, so many people will just accost him. Daddy, we were in Warri together. Just before we came in for this interview, we saw our Warri brethren. They were so well received. It was so well received. Even before we left Warri, it was a battle. After he has been transferred, the people said they were going to pray him back. They won't let him go.
Eat when you want to. I think you should appreciate God. And if you're out there, you can't do any of this at will. I want you to know that there is a God who can bring solution to whatever it is that you are going through. Thank you so much for joining us for this fantastic episode of Touched by Faith. I am still Olufunke Owu, and I'll see you next time on another episode of Touched by Faith.
God, omnipotent one, sufficient and full of grace. No one compares to you, so we've come to reverence you. Boy to Lord, you have done what no man has done. Receive all our praise today. Boy to Lord, you have done what no man has done.
Redeemer's Network Television.